What's up, guys? nethervvoid here with more World of Tanks subscriber replays for you. And sorry there was kind of a gap between subscriber replays. The Thanksgiving Recon kind of really messed me up. So this is a good game sent in by Titanium on Westfield. I know you're seeing a lot of Titanium videos. I'm going to have to check into that, make sure that the European guys aren't just spamming me his videos. I don't think they are. He just has a lot of good games, and the approvers pick him a lot. This one was actually approved by Captain Fisticuffs. So not the typical approver that picked him. Actually, Titanium's videos have been picked each time by different approvers. So it's not the same guy just sending in replays from him. I don't really care if it's the same guy. Mainly, it's to show you good tactics and also good games to watch, you know, for entertainment value. Again, a lot of people get subscriber replays screwed up. Right here, I just want to say he gets great spotting on the enemy team. Uses this ridge to not expose himself, but also spot. Now he gets spotted as well. But that's okay. He's lighting up the enemy to show his teammates where to position. This is a good idea. Not only does it get him lots of credits and XP, it helps out his team a lot. And if you have the mod that I have, you can see where the enemy is still on your minimap. It doesn't really help that much once they start moving around, but at least it lets you know kind of where everybody is. There are a lot of guys camping back there in the woods. An IS-3, which is weird, and a couple of TDs, which I would expect. So there are the other enemies there, really going north city. Nobody really goes to the center of the city anymore. A lot of that's because TDs become such a big deal. They sit back and snipe you when you pop out from the city. They used to be a great place to kind of do a lot of brawling and stuff, but again, brawling's not that big a deal. So 5100 gets hit. Don't really have to aim on him too much because his armor's pretty weak. And I think he shoots him in the top plate. Yeah, he gets a shot on the top plate while it's angled up like this, making it like a ridiculously armored piece of the vehicle, so that's why that shot bounced. And so anyway, also another thing to know is don't send me replays that are not 8.9 or above. Really, 8.9 is what I'm looking for, because it's hard for me to watch the replays, and it's also hard for my replay approval team to watch them. They just throw them away. They don't do any good. So you need to send replays from 8.9 or above. So he does a really good job right here too, not popping out right away trying to get damaged, you know, being impatient. He kind of does what a lot of people do, especially mediums. They wait for the battle to develop and basically wait for the amount of tanks to come down. In this game, since the vehicles are so close together, it's like just popping out, you can get shot 5 times by different guys and die. So it really doesn't do you a lot of good in a medium tank, unless there's an obvious hole to jump right out there. You need to wait till the holes are made available by your teammates. Nice shot on the tortoise there on the side armor. Looks like the battle for Lower City is pretty much over. WZ-120 down there in the valley by himself. I don't suggest that. There he's getting jumped by T-54 now if you're looking at the minimap. T-95, I probably would have taken, well, okay, he was hidden a little bit. Again, same shot that Titanium got on him, he just did on that T-54. A highly angled upper plate. Took the shot probably because he felt like he was going to jump out of there. Now, he tries to help this 120, but look, there's an E1 jumping him as well. So this guy's dead. There's nothing he's going to be able to do here. WZ-120, I don't know if he was thought it was a weak spot, like nobody was there or what. Tries to get a shot on the E1, but shot behind the turret there. Yeah, I would get out of there too. You're not going to win that. The WZ-120 is already dead, so they're going to eat you alive as well. You could probably jump down there if the E1 was clipped and he's loading, but chances are it's not going to work. So side turret armor, and also, luckily, while he was turning, he was getting side armor from the T-54, so all side armor exposed there. That shot definitely was nice. T-34 hold down. I really wish the silhouette would not show up for the parts of the tank that are hidden, because that does not help, just to show the entire silhouette. If you can't see, you know, the structure the guy's hiding behind or working with. So the IS-3 getting jacked up. Heavies are not good TDs. They just don't have the camo value, so I don't know why you do it. So I wanted to show you right here, IS-3s in particular, there's a lot of good opportunity to hit these guys on the flat part of their armor. Straight on, this tank is pretty damn good. It's got really good armor. That pike nose right there, if you're shooting them straight on, that's a very angled piece of the top plate right there, and it comes down really far. They actually just redrew this model, making the lower plate even smaller for the IS-3 because the IS-3 was really weak and nobody uses this in tournaments. It's really a crappy tank. Nobody ever plays it. It's got crappy guns, it's got crappy armor, it's got crappy mobility. And if you know anything about this game, you know I'm being sarcastic because the IS-3 is probably the best tier 8 heavy tank. So let's make it better by drawing the lower plate even smaller. That's definitely what you should do, is buff the hell out of this tank that's used by everybody in tournaments. I'm going to jump back off the soapbox here and say, if you ever get a shot like this on the IS-3, which a lot of IS-3 drivers, in my opinion, are not very good at driving them because the tank is so good, you don't have to be very good to drive it and have good games. And so it's kind of like when I told you a long time ago about driving the Tiger 1. The Tiger 1 had such bad armor layout compared to the tanks it goes up against. It forces you to either have crap games and say, I suck, this tank sucks, and I give up. Or it forces you to say, how can I play this tank well, and how can I, be good at this game in this crappy tank? Being in a crappy tank and actually trying is what will make you better at the game. An IS-3 is so good that in a sense, you really don't gain anything as far as teaching you how to be good at this game with a bad tank. It's not a lot of the same reason why, and I'll just let this play now since. So he shoots him in that really angled top plate where it's really bad armor at this point. So, it's still okay. There we go. Nice hit on the T-34. But anyway, it's like when I used to play Magic the Gathering a long, long time ago, back before when Wizards of the Coast just bought it, and before they had ruined Type 2 tournament play, in my opinion, ruined it anyway. Anyway, we won't get off. That could be a whole video, but. Back then, I used to play a lot against UC Davis students. I lived in Woodland at the time, which is just north of UC Davis, about 10 miles. And I was going to Sacramento to go into college, and I was going to Davis to play Magic with all the college kids there and stuff because I was a college kid too, and that's kind of what I did. Now, a lot of smart guys there. I was also pretty smart, and playing against their decks and watching their strategy and watching how awesome they were, and they were stomping me for a while, made me be good at that game. If I wanted to compete, I had to get good at it. I saw their strategies, I learned from them, I built my own, I became a very good player because of that. And then I'd play people in Woodland, no offense, but people in Woodland were not known for their genius. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Not known for their genius, and so their decks were not very good because they played a lot of people who were not very good. And so I walked in and smoked everybody the first time I'd play them. There was really nobody who could beat me because I had been playing against people who were so good. So I should have been talking more about this replay, but Rami does a really good job there. Or Rami, I keep saying his name. It's every video. I don't know what it is. So Titanium does a really good job figuring out when he can flank, and really you have to do it before your whole team dies. Which if he didn't get in there, his team would have gotten beaten. So now the E1, he gets a couple good shots on him. Hopefully the E1 is reloading. I don't know if he is or not. I wasn't paying that close of attention. But he's going to attack him right now here. Where'd he go? Where did he go? There he is. He's trying to do the same thing to Titanium. I keep saying that. So Titanium now, I think, has this guy. He's definitely got him on hit points. As long as the E1 can't just unload into him, which I think he's going to do. Yeah, he gets 2 hits on him right there. No, that was a track shot. Nice. And so right here, what Titanium did, even though he's exposing his ass armor, he's got to get to the cap to stop the cap. So smart, very smart, not turning around, driving straight for the cap to get the shot on this guy. He's only got 19 seconds left. So that was another great thing to watch in this game. Now he's using some gold rounds here because he needs to get the hit on this guy. I'm okay with gold rounds as long as, your whole game isn't shooting gold rounds, which I wasn't watching it too close here. Nice shot on the T-54. Then he does this kick-ass maneuver down here, just sliding down using his tracks, and does a jump, baby. Woohoo! Yeah, get some. Get some air right there saying hells yeah. Titanium, not a great shot there on the T-54, just rushing this guy. Pretty much the same amount of hit points here. He is using gold. Nice shot nice hit on him there. Now he has the upper hand. But with gold rounds, he's basically a little bit cheating here. Gets a nasty side shot on the T-54. It's not going through even with gold rounds. But gold rounds, yeah, you're cheating a little. Lower plate hit right there. Not only all he has to do is ram him. Just ram him, man. Oh! I would have rammed him. And he puts another gold shell into the side of him. So now he's reloading AP because now he doesn't need gold to hit this arty. Luckily, the arty just pulls right up to lets him get into close range. This is typically when you don't want to do as an arty. You don't want to close in like this because that's going to happen. And he got real lucky he didn't get tracked right there. But now what's he going to do? Okay, the T-54 can circle you. It's got like 100 degrees traverse. So you're not going to be able to do anything now. Again, he doesn't get behind the house and turn. No, he just keeps driving around. What happened there? Nobody knows. French bias, probably. And boom! Titanium having a great game in his T-54. Gets the top gun right there. GG, shooting gold, because that's what the ballers do, apparently. And let's get another replay. I want to make this about a couple of medium replays that were pretty good, sent in by some approvers and some dudes. So, also, make sure you send in your replays to me at dgnetsubmissions@gmail.com. All that stuff's going to be in the video description. Looking for good replays with good tactics, not just high damage, high kill. Okay, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for good tactics and something I can teach people, okay? So send those in to me. And right now, I'm not getting a ton of replays in, probably because it's the holidays. So definitely send them in now because you have a better chance of getting a replay seen on this channel. So hold on, let me get another game in another medium. Hold on a second. This is that second replay I wanted to show you in this video. This is the WZ-120 Tier 9 Chinese medium, and I wanted to show you this together with the other one because it's a batch of medium replays that are really good. So if you're looking to be better, get better at mediums, especially the Russian/Chinese variant types in this game, these are some good ones to watch. So this was sent to me by Mad Max SW9. I know I've played some of his stuff before. That name seems very familiar to me. He's platooned up with Tom Toot in his T-54, another awesome, in my opinion, the best Tier 9 medium. The E1, the autoloader, is also great, especially if you're doing like tournaments. But to me, the T-54 is just better. It's nice to have that autoloader, but the T-54 is so versatile. It's like the Hulk, man. When you drive it, you're like Superman. So the WZ-120 is kind of a knockoff of the T-Series. Basically sent to some from Russia or the Soviet Union at the time to China, and then the Chinese altered them a little bit, and then you have the Type series, right? So Tom and Max, or Mad Max, helping each other out here. Now I think he's shooting gold rounds right here because he just shot through the upper plate of the IS-3 when it was fully angled. And since this is not an 8.9 replay, I can't tell what rounds he's shooting. So again, please only send me 8.9 or above replays, because I really like to see what shells you're firing, all, you know, and different things like that, the reload times, whatever. How many shells you have left would be nice too. So really working that IS-3, boom, right through the building there, the columns of the building. Tom's like, hey man, let's work this side. Nobody's over here. Let's get some flank maneuvers here. So this was approved by, I want to say, RJK Diablo 2, but let me go check real quick, make sure that name's correct here. RKS Diablo 2. So he sent me a couple this week. Only 3 people sent me replays this week. I think it's because of the holidays, and I picked 2 of his. The 2 he sent were really good, so I wanted to show them to you. This is one of them. He said this is the best one he saw out of 80. Let's read what he says about this replay. Out of the 80+ replays sent in this week, this had to be the best out of the pack. To start off with, the player shows great knowledge of weak points on each tank. He works in great sync with his platoon mate. The weak points I'm not sure about because I think he might be firing some gold. There's a couple of situations where it seems like he would not go through. And I can't check the pen and everything on this gun because I can't. There's no UI at the bottom there. So that's an easy shot on the KV-5. Doing some side scraping right here. This is the shot I'm not sure would go through. It's a lower plate shot on the KV-5. I'm just not sure this gun has that kind of pen. I think it does. The KV-5 is really hard to pen. And right here, KV-5 still advancing. Right into, okay, that wasn't really side armor. That was really turret structure. So I'm not sure, again, if that would have gone through or not. The KV-5 is a weird tank, so there's some shots in here I'm not sure. There's a lower plate shot at point blank and to take the KV-5 out. You're dead. Probably not a good idea to keep advancing on these guys while they're just lighting you up like that. AT-5 gets a good side shot on Mad. Mad says, I'm out of here. I think Tom's going to stay in cover, though. Make sure they don't get flanked. You're going to see this a lot in this video, where this guy's doing, this team does a great job of playing Wingman, and I'll talk about that in a little later. So, he says, he also shows that you can side-scrape in mediums. We just saw that. To make sure that, basically when you side-scrape, what you do, and let's just pause the video real quick, we'll just look at the side, is you're only showing really from the front of that track to the back of that track. You're trying to anyway. You're not showing any of your lower plate. And so what this does is highly angles that side armor. At that angle, you're either going to get ricochets or it's going to be really hard to pin that side armor even though it's really weak. Or what's going to happen too is the shell's going to land into the tracks. That will track you, but the track doesn't, there's no hit point damage done to your tank when you get a track shot, which in my opinion is kind of a weakness of this game. Nobody really side scrapes in real life because you don't want to get shot in the track and get your track blown off, because then you can't do anything, can't move. A tank that can't move is usually a dead tank. People are hopping out of that tank to get the hell out of Dodge. They're not hanging around to fix it unless the battle's over generally. I've actually heard from a tanker, I remember in a replay video a long time ago, let's just start this up again, that you would do that, and you would maybe even be in the middle of battle, but you're pretty much figuring you're going to die. Or, you know, I mean, you could do it, but it's not like you do it like you do in this game. So, nice hit on the Tiger, trading damage a little bit with him, but he does 400 for 230 in return. Not a bad trade-off. Helps kill them, helping his team break through that little backup situation they had right there, getting backed up. So now that part of the flank is dead. These two IS-8s pretty much already worked over from the enemy, or from the friendlies. STI, 2 shots from death. It should be pretty easy. And Tom still covering the zero line like a pro, making sure that the AT-15 and whatever else is hanging back there doesn't get through, which I don't think at this point are many tanks. There's a lot of blips on the left side of this map, so I think it's only the AT-15. If it were me, I probably would have pushed up if I were Tom, at least to see if anybody's up there. So now Tom pulls back a little bit, says, you know, I'm tired of babysitting this AT-15, probably because he knows by now that there he is. He's the only guy back there. STI getting really worked right here, and 5100, I don't know what he's doing. He's way out in the open. And by zooming out before you fire, I think you lose some accuracy right there, is what we just saw. I stay zoomed in until I fire, and then I scroll the mouse wheel back like a boss and get out of there. So the M1 trying to throw a move gets taken out by Mad Max here, beyond Thunderdome. Tier 7 tank and a Tier 9, that's kind of why you just trying to take whatever moves you can get. Trying to get a shot through the columns here, not able to do it. In this map, which I really love this map, Siegfried Line, that's generally what you can do in the city, is take shots through the columns like that. So STI gets taken out by the Black Prince. Really nice game so far. Tom, so Max clicks and says, hey, that 5100 is flanking us. He's wide out in the open. He's got plenty of, he can do whatever he wants here. He's got full range. And he clicks over for the T-30, but no, the T-30 is way up here with the 5100. Tom and Max were RTBing, or basically backing up to take care of this problem. And the T-30 is now going to be a huge issue for these guys because they can't 2v1 that 5100. So again, he shoots, I think, while he scrolled out and then fired, which again, I think is what happened anyway. That could be an issue with the replay being an 8.8, but I'm not sure. 5100 gets a nice hit on him. So the reason he's backing up here is because he's keeping his armor to the AT-15. One of the things that Diablo said he does really well is he has great map presence. He's watching that map really well. So now that the AT-15 has crawled in here to try to flank, Max or Tom says, hey dude, let's do this. And actually Max just got some air. Nice, bro. Took it off any sweet jumps. Tom says, yeah, I do. Watch this, bro. So now Tom says, okay, go flank him, bro. I got him. I'm watching this fool. Get a flank shot on him. And the AT-15 says, I knew you were going to be there. So he shoots right in the upper plate. Again, I don't know if he's firing gold or what. That shell would usually probably not go through. So watch where he shoots him right here. Right? Oh, pushed the wrong button there. Flat spot in the front there. Let's look again. Basically, he shot him right there. Well, actually, it went right there. But that's a pretty flat spot. I think he was shooting for that machine gun turret. And didn't hit it because he's in a Chinese tank, not known for their accuracy, just like Russians. IS-8 trying to flank Tom. I don't know what that 4502 is doing. He's probably hiding behind a house, but now he's got 3 guys on him, kind of. So Tom says, hey, dude, let's flank while that 4502 is taking care of business for us. Let's do some pincer moves. So now they're just looking for the IS-8s. That gun will mess you up, dude. You do not want to screw around. So still doesn't know where they are. And if there's a 5100, the 4502 is getting swarmed. Yeah, he's dead. His days were numbered right there. Your days are numbered, mister. So the IS-8 gets taken out right there. And that's because the enemy team did not know where these guys were. That's going to happen quite a bit. Now is when the replay really gets interesting. Watch what these guys do. Max is saying, look, I think the other IS-8 is right here. Try to get behind him. They're covering different angles, but they're still close together, okay? There's the other IS-8, and boom, Tom gets the kill on that IS-8. So they're 2v1ing each enemy tank because the enemy is not sticking close enough together. 5100 trying to rush Tom right here, but he backs up because he's not going to chase him into town like that. Rightfully so. There's Max, and the 5100 spots Max and says, man, that was a good idea. 5100, good player, I think, from watching this replay. Trying to stick with the T-30 and work together like Tom and Max are doing here. So Tom and Max, they say, dude, let's do this huge loop around the city so nobody knows where we are. Right? That's the whole point of a medium, is to be where people do not expect you to be. But then Tom turns into the city. I did not expect him to do this. Kind of figured he would go all the way around, maybe to the bottom. Another thing is, you can watch what they're doing here, and let's stop it. Now, I would probably have gone south. Let's look at the mini-map. And I'm down here, right? So we can get the most pincering possible. But let's say I move to the bottom and Tom's moving up top. We can't cover each other, right? And that's what Diablo says makes this such a great replay, is these guys are working really well together. They're doing stuff I would not have done because I don't platoon much. I don't play this game as much as these guys probably play. And so these are kind of the finer points that I don't think about every time I play. But this is what makes a good, the difference between a great tanker and a good tanker. I'm a good tanker. My stats are good, but I'm not a great tanker, okay, like these guys. Now what they're doing right here is Max is taking point. This is something that a lot of fighter pilots do. It's called Wingman, right? Max is on point, trying to kill targets. What's Tom doing? Let's look real quick. I think he's right here. Where is he? Yeah, there he is, backing him up, okay? He's covering the attack angle from back here, and he's covering kind of from over here in a sense. Anybody coming around here is going to be lit up by Tom, and then Max is going to know all about it. Instead of basically someone coming around and flanking Max, see? Tom's got his back. So that's what they're doing right here. This is like just exactly the Wingman strategy in fighter pilot stuff. In aviation, or avionics warfare, or whatever you want to say. Basically, flying and shooting things. So, 914 hit points there, and 725 here. Not the greatest, but not bad. Now Max knows he's spotted, but where? From where did he just get spotted? There's the T1 or the T30. Nice hit into the T30 from Tom, because either the T30 wasn't watching, or I don't know, couldn't get a shot off in time. Now I know the T30 is sighted directly into right here. Max is going to try the side-scraping maneuver. So let's look at what's... Oh no! 5100 crawls up behind him. Now look at right here. This could be bad because the 5100 had so much DPM. But look where the T30 is. Let's look at the mini-map again. Remember what I was saying? T30 cannot back up the 5100. Okay? That's a bad situation for the 5100 because now he's going to get 2v1'd. Even though he has 6-round drum or magazine, and he has all that DPM, there's no way he's going to take out 2 of these tanks at a time. They're firing 700 damage together, right? 700 or 800. Does get a nice hit on. Oh no, it's a track shot. Gets lucky. Actually, I think he hit the turret, but so the 5100 is just getting out of there and gets wasted. So really, 2 things wrong with that picture. T-130, oblivious to how to support somebody, it seems like. Not moving up, not supporting. Those guys together should have easily killed these guys because they have the DPM advantage and they're fighting in close quarters. So the 30, really just not paying attention, and the 5100's all pissed off. But really the 5100 should have just stuck around the T-30 if he wasn't going to move and stuck together. The 5100 left his teammate, left his support to go get some kills. I mean, I do that too. I'm not saying I don't do that or something, but that's why he got killed. Like, even though I don't think of that while I'm in the game, I can see when people do it, and I can tell that it was a good idea. So he gets a nice hit on the T-30 while he's reloading, and here's Tom. Hey! Well, you know, it's just like, remember Jurassic Park when he's talking about, oh, you think the kid's like, oh, raptors aren't that scary. They're just giant turkeys. And then he comes up and he's like, oh, raptors aren't scary, huh? Well, you see a raptor, right? And he's just sitting there. He's just a giant turkey. Nothing to be afraid of, right? But what you don't see are his 2 friends that sneak up behind you and to the side. And before you know it, they got this huge talon scraping through your gut, spilling out on the ground so they can eat your guts while you're still alive. And that freaked that kid out. That was one of the best scenes in that movie. And that's basically what he did here. You didn't see the other raptor, did you? And now you're dead. So great replay, guys. Great job. This is what I want to see. I want to see more of this kind of stuff. Great approval, too. This was a great replay. One of the best ones that's been sent in. Great stuff you can learn from watching these 2 guys right here. So, again, I appreciate it. So, send your replays like this, great replays, to dgnetsubmissions@gmail.com. All that's in the video description. I need a few more guys for the approval team. If you want to be on it, put your WAT name and email address in the video or in the comments. I will check out your stats, and if you qualify, which means your stats are equal or better than mine, I'll put you on the approval team. The reason they need to be better is because, like this, I need guys that can filter my huge amount of replays and send back a few so that I can spend time to really scrutinize 10 to 20 replays instead of looking through 100 really quickly and not being able to pick out the really good ones because I'm watching them in 4 to 8 or 16 times and I don't see the maneuvers. You know, I don't spend enough time watching them. So again, that's what I need from you guys is that kind of help. I really appreciate my approval team. I like the you know, giving them a little bit of extra time on air too to, you know, talk about them as well. So anyway, if you like these, please send in more to dgnetsubmissions@gmail.com. I'll probably be doing another replay video this week because I have 2 more that I want to show you, and I'll see you guys next time.